afternoon, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you.
We'll get started here with Rube and then John McMullen.
Hey, Nick, I wanted to ask you about your running back situation and how Miles is doing, if you're still optimistic to have him Sunday. And also Jordan, didn't look quite right. Last we saw him 2 weeks ago, how he's doing, and just how important it is to be healthy at that spot.
Yeah, we're hopeful for Miles this week. Again, that's why we didn't put him on IR. Way back when he did have the hand injury. So we're hopeful for him. We're hopeful for Jordan this week in Boston and Kenny. So we have I think we'll have our full stable of backs, and really excited about where our backfield is. I think a lot of teams in this league would like the depth that we have at this position.
John and then Tim.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, John.
Can you take us through your Sunday, how it went for you watching the other games, and how much did playing Tampa early or this season give you a head start when it came to prep last week?
What we really thought that, with the way the numbers were as far as percentages of who you're going to play. We're football coaches, right? So we think about like, oh, hey, the defense is going to do this. They do this 75% of the time. They do this 25% of the time. And we plan plays accordingly. And we have answers versus other things, but that's how we plan plays. So we kind of did the same thing, as far as our preparation goes. The percentages said we were going to play Tampa, so more of our emphasis went into Tampa. But that doesn't mean you didn't have a plan. We didn't have a plan for the other teams that we possibly could play. So we dabbled in looking at some of that. But a lot of our focus was yesterday on Tampa, and it's nice when it comes out that way, where you've worked you've put in the work there, and you don't have to start again. So that was a lot of our emphasis yesterday. It was fun to just be able to have the games on in the background and watch some things that we were tracking as we got ready to play our game next week.
Tim and then Martin.
Hey, Nick, what gives you confidence that Jalen is ready for this moment?
This is a playoff game, as we know, but we're not going into this game saying this is different than any other game that we play, right? We're not going to tell these guys they got to do something extraordinary to win this football game, or extraordinary because it's a playoff game now. No, it's going to take everybody's best effort, but the process remains the same of how we go about our business, right? And that when it's about the process, when you're process driven and you're results aware, right? Then you don't ride the highs and lows of the season, and that's that not only am I speaking of like highs and lows after a win or a loss, but also highs and lows of what you deem a big game and what you deem a not so big game. They're all big in this league, right? We've been playing playoff games. We didn't have a very, very big margin of error, with the way we started off. So we feel like we've been playing playoff games for last month of the season now. So I know he's ready for the next game, which just so happens to be a playoff game. And he's gonna prepare the same way he has prepared. I know that from the outside it looks like it's a bigger game and everything, but to us it's we understand the consequences of losing, and and when you win, like, you're done if you lose, and so we understand that, but our process remains the same through it all, and I'm confident in our process. I'm confident in Jalen's process that he's going to go out and be ready to play in this game.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Mike.
Hey, Nick. Back when you played Tampa Bay in October, they had obviously Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown, obviously big parts of their offense. How big of a loss is it for both, not having both those guys? And how do you think they might be different from what you've seen the last, week or so since they both went out?
Yeah, we're both different teams than what we were in week 6. There's no doubt about that. And so, and that's what we're working through right now. We're working through we're more so on first and second down right now. So I look forward to seeing how they're different in third down and in the red zone. But that's the nature of the NFL, right? You guys, unfortunately, guys go down with injuries, and the next guy's got to step up. What I see in this team is they're well coached, and the next guy is ready to step up. I really do believe that with this Tampa team that we're playing, that the guys that are coming into their place have been coached well, and they're ready to go because they're good players. They're good players too. But there's no doubt they're different. But they also have a stability, obviously, at the quarterback position with one of the best players to ever play this game. And so his the things that he likes to do and that he's done throughout his career, you're still seeing those concepts. So what we think is it's all the way we think it's about what our quarterback's comfortable with and what our quarterback likes. And so I'm imagining they think the same way, and that's evident a little bit in their tape that they have some of the same concepts regardless of the guys that are working it. It's just going to some different guys, and it's the same guy pulling the trigger back there.
Go ahead, Mike, and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Nick, I have a two-parter for you. I know we've asked you this before, but why do you think the running game has been so successful with all the moving parts at guard and obviously in the backfield? And then can you speak to how important Jeff Stoutland has been to your first year as a head coach?
Yeah, I've said this plenty of times with Coach Stout. Just thankful that he's here. He's not only a great technician to get the guys better individually, he also does a great job of helping put them in good positions. So he's great, at scheming, and he's great as a technician. That's what you want out of all your coaches. So obviously, we're so appreciative of him, and his players are so appreciative of him because they know that he's getting them better. As far as a lot of moving parts, I think that speaks a lot to the depth that this team has. Not only in the O-line but also in the running back room. To be able to step those guys to be able to step in and play, right, first and foremost speaks to the ability of the player, and the preparation that the coach puts in and the preparation that the player puts in. And so a lot of credit goes to why we've, had some injuries and been able to continue on. But first and foremost, it's the players. Tribute to Howie and his staff that we have good depth here, and they've built good depth here we've built good depth here in the past when I wasn't here, and so that's the why. And then you always think about our quarterback, and he demands a lot of respect on the back side of things, right? And so we understand that one reason why we're a really good running team is because not only all the yards that Jalen contributes to the run game, but also the respect that he demands all over the field, as a runner, and we've developed as a passing team and with our play action game, and done really well on third downs in the red zone. So it's becoming less. It's becoming more likely that teams have to stop both, right? And so they have to stop. We've been an explosive pass team and an explosive run team. And so you have to kind of pick your poison there. And so it's not like they can, with the development that Jalen's went through this year with the receivers and the tight ends that we have, that they can't sell out only to the run because we've become balanced and, the pass game has developed as the years went on.
Jeff and then Zach.
Nick, what's your plan at tight end in light of Tyree Jackson's ACL tear? And is there any I know you use obviously 13 personnel a fair amount, but is there any consideration to looking at Jason Huntley in terms of how he performed as a kick returner?
Yeah. So as far as the 13 personnel as far as the plan for the tight end, I think Richard Rodgers has done a good job. Every time he's got an opportunity to play, he brings good veteran leadership. He brings great ability to block, not only in the first level but at the second level as well. And so he'll be the one that's elevated up. and ready to go. And he's had to step up in that role a couple times this year, right? With a couple different for a couple different reasons. We got a lot of confidence in him to be able to do that. We also have confidence in Noah as well. Right now it's looking like Rich, but we have confidence in Noah as well. As far as Jason, he did a really nice job in the game with a lot of different things, right? Not only kick returns, but also running the football. You saw how explosive of a player he is. Unfortunately, right, for him, he's in a very crowded room with a lot of good players that have had a lot of good reps, and then we have great depth there. And so, Kenny had a great game the other day. I thought he ran the ball really well also. So we'll have to look at the numbers and everything like that. It's gonna be it'll be hard. I mean, I'm admitting to you, it'll be hard to get Jason up for this game. He did a phenomenal job as a kick returner, but it will be hard to get him up because that means other positions will suffer there if you have too many backs up. You guys know that. I don't have to explain that to you. And so we acknowledge what he did in the game. We're looking to see what we can do at different positions, but that's going to be a tough deal to get him up for the game because that means someone else goes down.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Rob.
Hey, Nick, the past month and a half, you've handled practice a certain way. What's the approach this week as far as practices versus walkthroughs, wearing pads, things of that nature?
Yeah, same, Zach. When you get to this point of the season, you want to stick to I don't think it's wise at this point of the season with the wear and tear on their bodies to go back into pads. That's not that's not something that we're going to explore. We're going to, we felt like we've been healthy. I know we got some unfortunate injuries in the game the other night, but we feel like we've been healthy. We've been fresh going into games. Our legs have been there. And so, I don't see anything. We still can discuss, right, we have a couple days until our first practice, but and we're still in discussions about that. But I see it staying very similar to what we've been this last about month and a half of the season.
Rob, and then Dave Zangaro.
Hey, Nick, you're going to be coaching your first ever playoff game as a head coach against the defending Super Bowl champions. How much can you appreciate, to borrow from Ric Flair, that to be the man, you got to beat the man philosophy going into this one, as opposed to playing against anybody else?
Obviously very excited for the opportunity that our team has to go out there and to be one of the few teams that get in the playoffs, right? And to be able to play for everyone's goal, right? But we'll take it one game at a time, and we're gonna prepare like crazy for this game. We're gonna have our same process that we've had throughout the entire year of trying to get a little bit better each day to give ourselves a chance to go 1-0. And we know how good of a team that Tampa is, and that's going to be typical, right, throughout the playoffs. Everybody that you're playing now is won in their division or won enough games to get one of the 3 wild card spots. So we know that every game from here on out is going to be a challenge, and that's the way the NFL is. Like if you come into a game too high, too low, not going about it the right way in this league, we see it. We saw it all day yesterday, right? Anybody can beat anybody at any time, and so that's been our process the entire year, and we're gonna stay the same way. I know it sounds cliche, but it's just if you start doing anything different now, in the playoffs than you've done the entire 17 weeks prior to or 18 weeks prior to, you've done the 17 to 18 weeks wrong. That's my philosophy. That's how I was raised in this business. And I think that's what good coaching is. Like if you're going to do something and do something different this week, then you haven't prepared the right way for 18 weeks of the season. So we know we got a challenge. We know we're playing a very good team, the defending Super Bowl champs, and we're gonna like I said, we're gonna prepare like crazy. We got the right guys in this building that I know are gonna give everything we got and do everything we can do to get better each day to put ourselves in position to win this week.
We have time for 2 more, so go ahead, Dave, and then Howard.
And Nick, how much pride do you take in being the only first-year head coach to lead your team to the playoffs? And did you kind of follow the success and failure of the other guys that were hired at the same time as you?
No, I didn't. I didn't follow them. I mean, unless we were playing them or anything like that. And I don't think about that. I don't think about. All I care about is that our team is successful. Our team is ready to play each week. So I haven't really thought too much about that. I'm just thankful that we're in the position we're in right now to go down to Tampa and play a really good team in the playoffs and prepare for that.
Go ahead, Howard.
Nick, how, if you can, prepare people who haven't been in the playoffs, your young guys, for what might be one of the biggest moments of their football career?
Yeah, that's a good question, Howard. I think you just go through the same process over and over and over again. I think in this league, if you're getting too high or too low, based off you playing on Monday night or Thursday night or Saturday night or a big division game or whatever it is, or the defending Super Bowl champs, I just don't think you've went about your business the right way. Now, I understand that the cameras are a little brighter. They'll see more people on the field. They'll see more media throughout, outside media. I know you guys have been here through it all, but they'll see more outside media than they've seen before. They'll see, there's going to be a couple more interview requests. I get all that, and so it's going to feel different, and that's our job as coaches to make sure that, again, we stick to our process of how we go about things. Now, we have some great players on this football team that have played in the ultimate bowl game, right? The ultimate Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl, pardon me. And so what great opportunity those guys have that were here in 2017 to lead the group, the group of, going through the playoffs. Some of our guys that have never been in the playoffs or who are rookies, shoot, those guys played in the, Jalen's never played in the playoffs. Devontae's never played in the playoffs. Landon's never played in the playoffs, but they played in national championship games. Those games are huge, and they have the same type of hoopla that surrounds them. So, I'm confident we have winners on this football team. That's why we're in the position we're in right now, right? We have winners on this team that know how to win. And so we go about that same process. We don't make it bigger than what it is. We understand the consequences of you lose, you go home, you win, you move on. But again, the process, sorry for sounding cliche, but it truly is. The process remains the same because every game in the NFL that you play is big. And if you don't treat it like that, then you're not going to be in the position that we're in right now. So don't change now and keep it rolling.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.